Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lies official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ava and Harris are skulking abroad while Susan is being sought after. Unfortunately for them, Tripp is a liar who revealed the identity of his mother, and the police are now hot on their trail, so much so that it doesn't take the police long to find them. The quest may be derailed by this, but will it? Is it possible for the fugitives to persuade Jada and Rafe to assist them? 2 heads are inferior to 4. Wendy, meantime, objects to Tripp's behavior. Does this relate to his leaking information about his mother, even as she took a lot of risks to get Ava out of the nation and made mistakes along the way? Why leave Ava hanging like that? She is unaware that Tripp gave up Ava to save them. Tripp made the hasty choice to put Ava in jail in order to protect Wendy and himself from going to jail. What use will it be to drown in the ship's muck? Philip is questioned by Chloe about his emotions. Now that he is aware, she overheard him speaking to his brother in the square. Will he be truthful and put all on the line? In that case, how will she respond? This may become quite messy. In the meantime, Sarah and Rex married at the bar, solidifying their relationship. However, Xander soon showed up, knowing the whole truth about his daughter. Rex and Sarah are reportedly on their way to the altar as he confronts Sarah about her deceit in Dea's spoilers. Was that a typo? And did they mean Xander instead? We're perplexed but eager to find out what actually transpires. If you are falling behind on Days of Our Lives, let Soap Hub help you catch up on all the most recent events in Salem. We release weekly recaps every weekend that inform you of the most significant events and assist you in understanding the current state of the program. You can view them by clicking here. Look at how old they have gotten. Don't worry if you've noticed that the Days of Our Lives teen scene has been feeling a little sluggish recently. 2 legacy kids will be arriving in Salem the week of October 9 to give it a much-needed boost. According to Soap Opera Digest, Theresa and Brady's son Tate, who is being portrayed by newcomer Jamie Martin Mann, will be moving to Salem, and Nicole and the late Daniel's daughter Holly, who is being portrayed by Ashley Kuzimis, will make an appearance. To some people's surprise, both will be SORA'd, soap opera fast aging syndrome, to youngsters. Tate was last portrayed by Colin and Kyle Schroeder as a young child in 2018. But with Theresa back and her and Brady talking about how their son was just expelled from school, his reappearance isn't entirely unexpected. If he is no longer permitted in class because Theresa allegedly left him in California for school, then hello Salem. Even though it left a lot of room for interpretation, Theresa did make a point of expressing how much he had developed. Holly, though, comes as a bit of a surprise as far as we were aware, she and Nicole had only recently moved into the Demira estate. Ellen Alexander, who assumed the role back in 2020, continued to portray her as of last October. In light of that, this makes a little more sense, as we have been wondering why poor Holly wasn't invited when Rachel had her small welcoming party with the other kids after moving into the Demira mansion with Kristen. The 2 newcomers to the scene won't be seen in action for another 2 weeks, but there's a high possibility you've already seen them. People with keen eyes may have noticed the 2 newbies at the ice cream truck that Peacock received to mark a year of Days of Our Lives streaming. Even Stephen Nichols, Steve, posted a video of the occasion here with the couple in it, although at the time we were unaware of this. Days starts its production around 6 months in advance, so Mann and Puzinis began filming in the spring. But since the Peacock anniversary and related video just occurred in September, it's comforting to know that they'll be around for a while. But let's hope they don't cause as much trouble as their parents did. Days of Our Lives reveals that Sarah Horton will need to give an explanation for her actions now that Xander Cook has confronted her regarding Victoria Horton's paternity in the upcoming episode airing on Wednesday, September 27. After Sarah and Rex Brady got married, Xander burst into the pub and convinced Sarah that Victoria is actually his, not Rex's, as Chloe Lane had overheard. Although he already has a solid notion of why she tricked him, Xander is now outside with Sarah demanding answers. Xander speculates that Sarah would have preferred Victoria to grow up believing a lie than to have a father like him. Nevertheless, Xander will feel deceived and keep questioning Sarah's motives. When it comes to paternity falsehoods and how they usually backfire, Sarah ought to have learned her lesson by now. Sarah will pretend that she was protecting Victoria, but Xander would challenge her on whether she truly believes he would do anything to endanger their daughter. Xander might eventually figure out that Sarah is avoiding him more out of fear of her feelings. Philip Kyriakis has arrived to closed door, and according to other days' teasers, she will now explain her actions to him. Given the circumstances, Philip is unlikely to hold Chloe accountable for telling Xander what she really thought, and may instead just wish to check on her. Sadly, Chloe is devastated now that she has given Xander back to Sarah, but at least she will have Philip to lean on when she needs someone to listen. On Wednesday's DOL episode, Philip will likely be questioned by Chloe about his sentiments, leading him to possibly acknowledge that he still loves her and may always do so. Given that they are soon to depart for New York City, that might pave the way for Philip and Chloe to go together. Depending on how everything turns out, Chloe and Philip might be planning a romantic reunion. Rafe Hernandez and Jada Hunter will pursue the trail in London, which will aid them in finding Ava Vitelli and Harris Michaels. Day spoilers indicate that Trip Johnson will surprise Wendy Shin with his behavior, thus he might find a method to alert Ava or impede the inquiry despite providing Rafe with information. Ava's life might be in jeopardy if she's taken back to Salem too quickly, which would be perilous given that Trip has already been put on trial. Trip will undoubtedly bear that in mind, as E.J. Demura still poses a threat. Of course, it's also possible that Trip will have something more romantic in store for Wendy. Alternatively, he might find her a new job given that E.J. recently dismissed her. Trip will be busy surprising Wendy as Ava and Harris look for Susan Banks, whatever the case may be. Since Edmund Crumb, Susan's old flame who was last seen in 1998, would eventually meet with Jada and Rafe, Harris and Ava, might be able to give them the benefit of the doubt. Keep an eye out for news on the hints Edmund may provide along, since he may have some interesting information about Susan's whereabouts. Days of Our Lives spoilers indicate that Ava and Harris will exert every effort to locate Susan as soon as possible. Make CDL your go-to source for incredible Days of Our Lives spoilers, news, and updates by making us your one-stop shop. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.